I've had breaks from climbing before, but never this long and without exercise. On that note, I have a question at the end about training, so stick around for that and help me out. I'd appreciate it. So yeah, what does getting back into climbing look like? Well, this is that story. Alright, so today is off to a little bit of a slow start. I didn't sleep very well last night. I was working on a project, which maybe I'll talk about in another video, but I smashed my hand with a hammer and my fingernails looking pretty blackened and gross, and it's kind of screwed up my mood a little bit today. But also I've been kind of excited but anxious about climbing today because it's been over 3 months since I last climbed, and I'm not quite sure how it's gonna go, and it's making me feel a little bit off. And if you're wondering why I haven't climbed in 3 months, I should have posted a video about that, so hopefully you can kind of get filled in as to why that's happened and why I haven't posted any videos in a long time. But yeah, priority today is to wake up and then get my ass to the climbing gym, so let's get right to that. Since this was my first time back in months, I'm going to do some commentary over this with insight into what I was feeling and, well, doing. I usually warm up off the wall with some very basic dynamic stretching. Yes, that means windmilling like I'm at a hardcore show, while also doing what looks like awkward Tai Chi from the waist down, not shown here for obvious reasons. Then I climb through the grades, down climbing each problem. So, starting with V0s, or in this case, a V1, the first thing I'd climbed in months. It felt good, but kind of like I was robotic, almost like I was fighting my own body. There was definitely some kind of disconnect going on here. This might get repetitive, so I will speed it up, but this is the full warm-up, no cuts, just moving the camera around. I typically climb with minimal rest until I feel a bit pumped, and they get hard enough that down climbing would waste energy. Typically, that's around V4, which this problem is. It felt surprisingly good until I slipped on the textureless part and my life flashed before my eyes. But yeah, a V4 flash, not too shabby for the first time back. So I carried on until I hit this V4, I guess. This gym is quite good at making cruxes small boxes that my lanky ass struggles to fit in. You can see that here as my knees touch my nips, and where the flow I started to feel completely evaporates. I think this is also where I started to hear a little chatter from my ego going on, so I took a moment to figure out something new and give it another go. So yeah, awkward and not pretty, but sent it and moved on. I felt challenged and figured I should stick with V4s. At this point, I turned off my camera because I guess I just wasn't feeling it. I sent a few more and then switched on my other camera to get more footage because these looked pretty fun, even though I still saw some high feet. Two more V4 flashes. So I figured I was doing okay, and naturally I just decided to skip a grade and just hop right on a V6. Why not? Honestly, it was right beside the others, and it was kind of just taunting me there. So, time to dig my feet in, or I guess I should say fingers. I clearly read it wrong and wasted energy figuring it out on the wall, but it felt good, so I got roped in. Which may have been a mistake because energy-wise, it felt like first go, best go. Maybe my old warm-up was too much for present-day me, but here's a montage of attempts so you get a sense of the problem. This problem consisted mostly of crimps, which felt really small to me at the time, and awkward feet that I knew I needed to cut away from at some point. It was just a matter of figuring out when that would be. After numerous attempts to pull through the moves, I wasn't doing much more than gathering beta. Even removing pants to feel that glorious climbing gym breeze couldn't help me, so I threw in the towel and my pants. Alright, so I guess today was a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. My mental state definitely affected my climbing. I think I could have climbed a little bit better if I was a little bit more focused and maybe was in a place where I was there to enjoy myself more than I was to just test myself. And I guess I was a little bit disappointed in that testing side of things because the last time I climbed was actually at that same gym, and maybe I'll put up some of the climbs that I did at that gym last time I was there, and there were tens of problems that were quite difficult that I could do in one session, and coming back and struggling so hard, yeah, I guess I was a bit disappointed, and I hate to play the grade game, but yeah, it definitely did hurt a little bit. And I think the problem was mental, and there was definitely a physicality side to it. I felt weak, and there was a body awareness problem, but I think a lot actually had to do with my skin. It just hurt to climb a lot. I actually gave up when my skin started hurting so much that I just called it quits. I actually have a flapper on my pinky of all places. I know Adam Ondra likes his pinky, and I guess I probably do as well. I'm actually having trouble holding the camera right now because my hands are shaking because I'm that tired and exhausted. I also have a blood blister on my index finger, so clearly my skin was not up to the task. So I guess we're gonna have to get back to that gym and try to fight that V6 that kept spitting me off again, and hopefully next time I'm victorious. And hopefully it is not too long from now and my skin recovers quickly. So we'll see you there, hopefully in a few days. Oh, hey there. the process of waking up. I'm pretty tired. I didn't get a great sleep, which frustrates me a little bit because I wanted to be well rested to climb today, but I haven't slept well in the better part of a year, so I don't know why I should have expected any differently. But here I am, and I'm feeling okay. My nail is still pretty blackened, but it's hurting quite a bit less, so hopefully that translates to slightly better climbing. So we're gonna wake up, finish this coffee, and then head to the gym, so we'll cut right to that. All right, back here at my nemesis, my body was reasonably rested and my skin was recovering, but better. I had been thinking long and hard about the beta and decided to use that first go, best go magic sauce on it. And yeah, blew it. Well, my feet blew. But it felt pretty good, and honestly, it just felt a little more awkward at the top. So I figured I needed to dial that in just a little bit more. Again, this section felt precarious. Then I saw it. Somebody spun a crimp and never got it fixed. It was literally rotated like 30 degrees. You could see the outline. I knew something felt off, and yeah, I got robbed. So I grabbed one of the setters to confirm and fix it. I don't know if he wanted his face to be blurred out or not, but now he seems all mysterious and shit. Who is he? I don't know. Anyhow, I tried and tried again, but just felt like I used up all of my power already. So my wandering eyes caught this gal in the corner, another V6, but much more blue. Sure, why not fragment my focus and fail on something else? Honestly, my first attempt was pretty good, although I definitely didn't use the intended beta. For reference, here is me trying what I assume is the intended beta. I could not get any tension with that toe. My long legs put my knee bent in my chest. I tried to make more space by skipping some holds, but it was too far and did not work. And just to prove that my alt beta wasn't cheating, here is a failed attempt. You can see I'm just trying to squeeze the two flat surfaces at chest width like an accordion, not really breaking or making this easier. So one last attempt for good measure. You can see where there's a hold I don't use, where I think they want another close toe hook at chest level. Yikes. So I left with a bit of a head scratcher. Alright, so today didn't exactly go according to plan. Sometimes when it feels like something's going to work, it just doesn't, and I'd love to simply blame being tired from the last session, or that hold spinning on me on the one problem. But the excuse I'm going to use today is that my skin is absolutely destroyed. I don't know if you can see that or not, but my fingertips are kind of completely raw and the skin's literally peeling off of them. I forgot that was a thing with climbing, and not climbing for a couple months definitely has made my skin pretty weak. So we're gonna let that heal up, and then hopefully next session I can actually climb what I want to. So we'll rest up for a bit and then hit the gym up in a couple days. So see you then. So we are off to the gym yet again, but unknown to me, beyond those doors awaited every gym climber's worst nightmare: the unexpected reset. No biggie, back to this guy. I figured the problem with, this problem was endurance, so I just upped my tempo to go for the send. Which meant a sloppy foot slip, which I forcefully recovered from against my shoulder's wishes. Ow. And tried something that, didn't work. Clearly, I needed to do something else, and here is what I conjured up. Cool. I got all the pieces, and clearly what I needed to do was climb even faster. Still too tired. The solution? Even faster. Not fast enough, dude. How about you go even more fasterer? Honestly, if it wasn't for the people in the background, I think this almost looks like fast forward. But it wasn't, and it didn't work. Yeah. So, what can I say? You can't win them all, I guess, and that's pretty par for the course as of recently. I don't want to sound pessimistic. Actually, it was super fun to get back into climbing, and I started to feel more and more like myself again. It's amazing how climbing can do that to you, and I think I saw a lot of positivity in what was happening. I think I put some phantom fears to bed. This idea that you can get way weaker for not climbing for a few months, I think is not completely true. It's what you want to believe, especially when you first start climbing again. But I think it takes a long time to lose that tendon strength and that kind of muscle power. I think it's more to do with your kind of mental state. I was in a bit of a funk when I started climbing, and then I also had this disconnect between kind of body and mind, and those ingrained climbing movements and kind of movement patterns and all of that just started to fade a bit over time, and it took a little while to get those kind of back into gear, and I'm still doing that, but I kind of felt it happening real time, which is pretty exciting. It was kind of like the first 5 months of my climbing experience condensed into a couple of sessions, which is pretty cool to feel yourself just like progress kind of that quickly in that short amount of time, and I'm happy with it. Even though I didn't send those problems that I probably would have flashed or gotten second go like months ago, I felt close, and I don't think I'm that far off. So I'm excited to kind of keep that progress moving, and maybe I'll get into some training to try to focus on some climbing specific muscle groups that I've been lacking and keep the climbing sessions to be more fun. And maybe that'll be the next kind of couple of videos. Maybe it'll be about training. So if you have some type of a training test I should do, you know, one of those climbing fitness tests, maybe let me know in the comments and I'll try to do one of them. I know there's a ton out there, and I've kind of avoided them because I didn't want to do that YouTube kind of cliche thing, but I feel like those tests actually serve a purpose. They let you kind of know how strong I am, or probably not in this case, but also it'll give me that baseline to see like, here's where I was and here's where I ended up. So I think for this purpose, it might actually make sense to do that. So let me know if there's one that you prefer and you think is kind of the best one to do, and maybe I'll get to that. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into climbing, and if you watched the last couple of videos, you know that my free time is about to get extremely limited for some positive reasons. So I want to get in as much climbing right now as I can in training, so that I can build that base level pyramid that I can carry on for the next months, years, and do the kind of bare minimum to maintain that. So yeah, there's gonna be lots of climbing, I hope, in the next little while, and maybe if I can find a small window in the spring, I'll get to test some of it out on real rock, and we can see how that actually ends up. So yeah, I'm starting to ramble, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. So if you wanna see those future videos that I've yet to make sure you're subscribed. If you like this one, give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff, I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll leave you there, so take it easy and peace out.